What is a Roth and why is it different? A Roth IRA or 401k is a retirement account that lets you invest money you've already paid taxes on. You're paying for it with already taxed money, and it's blossoming tax-free.
There's been like this conversation on Twitter and on Reddit about, younger people just discovering the Roth IRA and how they can utilize it. Why do you think so many young people are drawn to the Roth IRA compared to traditional retirement accounts?
I think people always want, what's that one piece of advice that you give somebody? And they always, max out your Roth. It's like the easy button, those Staples commercials. Hit the easy button, it's a Roth.
So do you think most people actually understand the tax-free retirement money really is?
No, and that's the beauty of a Roth IRA is if I was a farmer and I had a field, and then I got a knock on the door from my favorite uncle, Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam comes and tells me, you get two choices. You get to pay me now or pay me later. But if you pay me now, you pay tax on the seeds. Let's say the seed is worth $1 and you have to pay 30% of that dollar, you pay 30 cents. But you know what? You never have to see your favorite uncle for the rest of your life, your spouse's life, and 10 years after you die. Or you get to not pay tax on that seed until it grows into a big, beautiful harvest. But when it does, when you're around 73, I get a third of everything that seed grows to. What would you pick? Tax on the seed or taxing the harvest?
Tax on the seed.
Exactly. Well, that's a Roth.
So for listeners who feel like retirement is a decade away, which is why I think this is hitting younger people who are like, a cheat code to potentially getting into retirement stuff. Why should they care about this right now?
You should care about it right now because taxes are on sale. So the Roth is not necessarily a cheat code, but with government debt ballooning, it's sort of like it's a way to protect yourself and insulate yourself from higher taxes. You can contribute up to $7,000 per year if you're under 50 or $8,000 if you're 50 or older in 2025. That money goes in after taxes. Remember, taxes are on sale according to Ed Slott and others. So you want to be involved in the Roth today. Once it's in a Roth, you can invest in stocks, growth exchange traded funds, mutual funds, or whatever you want. Any growth in the account is completely tax-free. If you contribute $20,000 over a few years and it grows to $100,000 by retirement, you can withdraw all $100,000 of it without paying another cent in taxes. You can also pull out your contributions at any time without penalty or taxes.
So can you explain how contributions always come out first rule? Actually giving people flexibility with this account?
Well, it does in that if there's an emergency and you've put in $20,000, you can take $20,000 out tax-free and penalty-free and leave the growth so it can serve as a sort of emergency fund. It's almost like a Swiss Army knife of investing. You can use it for your first-time home purchase. You can get contributions out as an emergency fund, and it can be for retirement. That's triple uses on your dollar.
So when someone opens a Roth IRA, what kind of investments do you think they should be putting inside of it? Like, what's a good starting place?
High growth ETFs, exchange traded funds, low cost, no commission ETFs, or individual stocks, because that money grows tax free.
I didn't know when I first started a Roth for the first year that you were able to invest it. So I just had it in there.
Thank you for your honesty. That is more people than you know. We're now going to talk about Roth IRA rules you need to know. Let's break down the key rules you must know if you're thinking about opening or using a Roth IRA. Rule 1, income limitations. You cannot contribute to a Roth IRA if you make too much money, but you can contribute to a Roth 401k. For 2025, the limits are $150,000 if you're single, $236,000 if you're married filing jointly. If you make more than that, your ability to contribute starts to phase out. Once you hit $165,000 single or $246,000 married, you can't contribute at all. Rule 2, tax-free withdrawals and the 59.5 rule. One of the best features of Roth IRAs and 401ks is withdrawals are tax-free, but only if you follow the rules. You can always pull out your contributions without penalty or taxes at any time. But to pull out the earnings tax-free, you have to be at least 59.5 and meet the 5-year rule, which I'll get to next. If you pull earnings out early, you'll face income taxes plus a 10% penalty, unless you meet certain exceptions, like buying your first home or qualified education expenses. Rule 3, annual contribution limits. There are limits to how much you can contribute to each year. For 2025, the limit is $7,000 if you're under 50, $8,000 if you're 50 or older. This limit applies across all your IRAs, Roth and traditional combined. You can't exceed that amount, so you could do $4,000 in a traditional. If you need a little extra write-off, $4,000 in the Roth. The last rule is one that trips people up, the dreaded 5-year rule. Even if you're 59.5, you can't withdraw your Roth IRA earnings tax-free unless your account has been open for at least 5 years. But it's not that Roth, it's any Roth. So that's also why you want to start Roths early, so you can take advantage of that 5-year rule and get earnings out as early as 59.5. The 5-year clock starts on January 1st of the first year you make your first contribution. So if you opened your Roth IRA in December of this year, the clock actually starts January 1st of 2025. Here's the kicker. The 5-year rule also applies to each conversion you make in a backdoor Roth. Each conversion has its own 5-year clock for penalty-free withdrawals.
So what do you look for personally when you're choosing to put your money?
I want a large, reputable brokerage house. We use Fidelity, Schwab, and Interactive Brokers because of their technology, user interface, SIPC insurance, good AM Best rating, Standard & Poor's rating. Some of these people are using like fly-by-night companies that just been around for, I don't really feel that, personally.
So do you think the Roth IRA is suited for everybody? Young people, high earners? Like, what are your thoughts?
Anybody who breathes.
It's a lot of people.
Why wouldn't you do a Roth? Maybe you didn't protect your family with enough life insurance. Maybe you don't have a disability policy for your family.
For people juggling student loans, rent, expenses, how much does starting with a small contribution actually make a difference?
I think you have to start compounding early. So we get sometimes people in their 20s, they go, I got rent, I get expenses. No, you got to max out your Roth because eventually you're going to want a house. Let those student loans defer and then hit the student loans when your income increases. The Roth IRA isn't exciting. It's not flashy. You're not going to see some viral video promising to double your money overnight. But if you're serious about your future, this is the account you may want to start with. Pay taxes now, let your money grow tax-free. Watch what happens. It's one of the few financial plays out there that's almost too good to be true. And it's sitting there waiting for anyone who wants to use it.